For that power that created the cosmos out of chaos is that power resides in and as me. And so knowing that, I am grateful. Grateful for this collective gathering of like-minded individuals here in celebration, here in jubilation of a Sunday magnificent in words, in music, in love, for love truly is the way. And so knowing that, declaring that, I simply allow that to be. And with a deep, deep sense of gratitude, I accept this for one and for all. Law has taken it, details are done, and I simply step into this marvelous, marvelous day, knowing all is well, all is well, all is God. And in affirmation, collectively affirm, and so it is. And now it's my privilege to introduce Dr. Heather Dawn Clark.
Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, where, as usual, we will practice, we will talk about, we will explore spiritual tools that you can use to transform your life. And when your life is transformed, everything changes. It changes from your perspective, but it actually changes. It is the way the world becomes a better place, a world that works for everyone. So welcome, welcome home. And speaking of great ideas, like to start off by acknowledging God's greatest idea, which would be you. If you were born in July, would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Well, I've changed the order of service, and we'll just continue. I like this. Okay, we're going to sing our first song for the morning, which is a Ricky Byers Beckwith song. Use Me, Please Stand.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth and the stars, for all of creation. God is creator, all in all, leading us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, what must they do? Command my life, it's here for you. God is a love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so use me. Oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you, so
stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Sounding really good. Give yourselves a big hand. Then greet the people around you, and then we will declare our principles. And then if you'd please take your seats, we're going to declare our principles together. Please join me. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it, and so it is. It is. It's such a great declaration. If you are in service today or have been in service this past week, would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love? Ooh, look at all the energy coming from here. Woo. A special subset of our volunteers are our practitioners, and if they will remain standing, practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer. If you want to transform your life, make an appointment with one of these fine people. You'll be so happy you did. If you want a taste of that on Sunday morning, we give you a little mini taste after service at the tables back there, the affirmative, or in the tranquility room. So the people who are in the service today are Kimberly Woldridge, who is holding the high watch, Aidan Greedy, Reverend Ann Ronan, and Patrick Freeman. And Patrick's going to come forward and read the affirmation, which will then appear on the screens, and we'll read it all together. Patrick, thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Affirmation for July 6, 2014. Today, I let go of how my creative gifts will show up in my life and allow myself to create in joy. My gifts are needed in the world, therefore I give them.
this is the time in our service that we get quiet and have a very short meditation. And the chant that we're chanting is For Yourself and Me. Also, Ricky Bars Beckwith will sing it a few times, and then I'll lead you in a short meditation, and then we follow up with the same chant. The idea of chanting is to breathe together. So even if you don't know the words, it's always a good idea, or the melody, it's always a good idea to participate.
For yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit.
And opening to that wonderful spirit within that sometimes feels like it comes from the outside, but truly is an opening to that inner resource of joy that is spirit, that inner field of creativity. And so opening to that wonderful spirit within. And this is what I invite you to do. To, as you are simply breathing in the joy of wonderful spirit, let your mind focus on one of the gifts of creativity that you enjoy. It may be something you enjoy watching, something you enjoy doing, but see this thing, whether it's listening to wonderful music or participating in it, or going to a wonderful museum or actually painting the canvas. Let your mind choose one and see yourself as the artist of this magnificent work, as the composer, the creator. For indeed that is yours to be and do. See it with vivid detail and in Technicolor with all of the colors of the crayon box. To see it all. And then just simply in the silence, maintain that visual or felt experience of this creativity. and gently bring yourselves back into the awareness of where you are in the room, and that if you were out of your body, get back in so that you can be fully present. You're going to want to be, and you will be in just a moment. Our inspirational music this morning is Allendale. Let's welcome them.
You can spend your whole life building something from nothing. One storm can come and blow it all away. Build it anyway. You can chase a dream that seems so out of reach, and you know it might not ever come your way. Dream it anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. I do it anyway. This world's gone crazy, and it's hard to believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Believe it anyway. You can love someone with all your heart for all the right reasons, and in a moment they can choose to walk away. Love them anyway. God is great, but sometimes life ain't good. And when I pray, it doesn't always turn out like I think it should. But I do it anyway. I do it anyway. You can pour your soul out singing a song you believe that tomorrow they'll forget you ever sang. Sing it anyway. Sing it anyway. I sing, I dream, I love anyway. Do it anyway.
That indeed was the lesson. Wow. Thank you so much. We're so blessed by you two. This is perfect. The talk title, as you know, is Lessons in Creativity. Lessons in Creativity. The whole month has changed from living on purpose to living creatively. And ministerial students, I taught you never do this. I'm doing it anyway. So thanks for the good setup of the song. And that is I'm going to teach a class. I'm going to teach a class in creativity because it's what we teach. It is what the science of mind is all about. So how many of you know right now that you're creative? Hands up. Very good. How many of you know that you have certain talents that you could develop even more? Okay, well that is the creative process. I used 3 books that, as I was preparing for this time this morning, of course, The Science of Mind. Because the whole science of mind is about the creative process in both the universe and the individual. The whole book is about how we use our mental faculties, our spiritual attention, to live a life that we dream of, to live the life that we want. The whole book. I'm going to just read a little tiny section. This is in the review. And Ernest says this: the law of mind is not selective. That is, it is receptive without caring what it receives. It is creative without caring what it creates. It knows how to do without consciously knowing that it is doing or what it is doing. It seems strange that the first thing to realize is that there could be such a law in the universe. But on second thought, we find that all natural laws are of like character. No natural law is ever selective of itself. Didn't choose itself. Electricity didn't choose itself. It always was. This is why we must realize that the spirit itself is more than any or all laws as we understand them. Conscious mind controls the law of mind. The law of mind is sensitive but not conscious from the standpoint of having any selective quality. Selectivity is the office of our conscious mind, the one you're thinking with right now, selectivity is the office of the conscious mind, while creativeness is the office of the inner mind. So we are always, always, always creating something, either by intention or by default. Either we are moving in the direction of our dreams, or we are resisting them and moving the other way, pushing them away, or going toward them. And it really is up to us. And as I just read, the law of mind is neutral. It doesn't give a care, a hoot. It doesn't give a hoot what you put in it. It doesn't say, oh no, Heather, you don't want to say that. You don't want to believe that because just yesterday you were telling me this. It just says, yes, my beloved. Yes, my beloved. Yes, my beloved. It's the good and faithful servant. It's the good and faithful servant that's always saying yes. A Christian mystic that I met once in a minister's conference, I think it was in the East Coast. Do you remember, Reverend Judy? Matthew Fox? Anyway, Matthew Fox was a Catholic priest, and when he started writing these mystical things, they defrocked him, and he's still this enlightened being, still a spiritual being, and still teaching, but he's no longer with the Catholic faith. He's with another faith, and he has this book called Creativity. And lo and behold, what he teaches in this book is the same as what Ernest Holmes teaches, that it is our responsibility to use our creativity in the nature of God, in the nature of good, for compassion, for well-being. And he tells a wonderful, there's Reverend Karen and Reverend Patty will want to borrow this if they don't have one, because there's a great one on the Tao, a whole chapter on the Tao, which I'm not going to go into. He compares creativity to some of our myths that we've thought of in different ways. So how many of you are not familiar with the myth of Prometheus. Okay, so Prometheus is one of the Greek myths, and it's about this god who was part human, part god, and he stole fire from the gods and gave it to human beings. And for that crime, because it was disallowed, it was not allowed for the human beings to have fire, but without fire, the civilization we wouldn't have had the civilization that we have. So Prometheus did it anyway, even though he knew it was against the rule. And for his punishment, he was chained to a boulder, and a vulture came every day and plucked at his liver, ate his liver out. And then at night he would go to sleep, and his liver would reform. And the next day the vulture would come and pluck at his liver. Now, for many years, when I was a kid going to school, we were taught that meant don't disobey what the grown-ups say, what God says, because you'll get in great trouble if you do. But Matthew Fox looks at it differently. He says, in order for creativity to happen, we have to rebel. In order for creativity to happen, the United States wouldn't be a country if people hadn't rebelled, if the fathers of this country hadn't said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to pay those taxes anymore. If they hadn't rebelled, then the creative process of forming this country wouldn't have happened. So in that myth, and also he goes on to talk about Adam and Eve, and you're all familiar with the Adam and Eve story, how the serpent tempted Eve to eat of the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now, why wouldn't God want us to have that knowledge? It doesn't make sense that God wouldn't want its creations to know what it knows. What God knows, we ought to know. We're told in other places that we're made in the image and likeness of this one power. Image and likeness with the same qualities that it has, that we too can create out of nothing and bring forth form. We too can have an idea that we place in that divine mind, and it becomes our experience. And Matthew Fox goes to both myths, and he says, if we look at them a little differently than we've been taught to, because all of the pain of childbirth came from Eve's, it's nonsense. The pain of childbirth came because we have such big heads, right? It's because we evolved and grew these big heads. It's hard for human beings to give birth. That's where the pain comes from, not from a myth, not from disobeying, but rather, so in the Adam and Eve myth, if we think, well, they were supposed to eat of that fruit. They were supposed to rebel so that they too would have the knowledge that God has. Then it makes sense. Then, to me, it makes sense. Fine writer, Matthew Fox. So, I did want to read you something. Have you noticed that how many of you do not take Creative Thought magazine? Don't get it. Well, you might want to start. Because it's a nice little magazine. It's filled with affirmative prayers. But this year, the entire year, Christian Sorensen and Petra Weldis have been writing articles. They're the ones who wrote our journal. And month by month, they've been keeping pace. So this month's article by Petra is Living a Creative Life. That's what we're talking about this month. So it's going hand in hand with our journal. And at the end of this little article that she wrote, she gave some suggestions. And here's the first one. When you're getting ready to do something that causes you to be anxious or nervous, imagine it working out perfectly and that you're feeling relaxed and happy. How many of you have done that? Yeah. And what do you notice that when you do it, what is your experience? It works out. because you've already seen it working out, right? You've already seen it in your head working out. So you're using this creative law in the right way, in the wise way. How many of you have never written a blue sky list? Okay. A blue sky list is simply a list of all of the things that you would love to be, do, or have. A blue sky list. A blue sky, oh, you have done it. After all, do it again. How many of you have not written an ideal day scenario? This is my ideal day. I wake up early, I sit in meditation. How many of you have not done that? Okay, this is a really powerful, powerful assignment. As Reverend Judy often quotes Johnny Coleman, who says, it works if you work it, right? It works if you work it. So this is how you work the creative process. Design your life. Last week I talked about tell a new story. This is a continuation. You tell a new story by designing something you want, writing it word for word, seeing it in Technicolor, painted on the canvas of your mind. Then it becomes the experience of your life. And none of us are too young or too old to do this. This is for everybody. And what a great gift for our children to be starting so young, knowing that they have something to do with their destiny, with their lives. And for the oldest persons in here, and let my gaze not catch on anyone, for the oldest persons in here, isn't it great anyway that you can, right now, today, have a new idea about yourself, your life, write it the way you would like it to be. So I asked you earlier in that lesson, do you know that you have things you'd still like to develop? And many, many hands went up. I want to hear what some of them are, and you have to shout out loudly, and I'll say it back. So, someone, I saw many hands. What is? Build a sweat lodge on our site. And actually, we have someone here that could show you how to do that. What else? To be better organized? Okay, what else? Publish her children's book. Knowing all of these things for all of you. Cheryl. Start your own business account. Wonderful. I saw more hands than that. Come on, be brave. Yes. Aha. Teach additional music classes. More music classes. Fabulous. Yes. Become a yoga teacher. Wonderful. Yes. More clients. Okay. So do you see, Reverend Bruce? Nope, someone else. He's pointing at someone. Charlie. Learn to paint. Darylyn. Start a children's choir. See how many wonderful ideas there are? And infinite more. Infinite more. The only thing that stops you is yourself. And that goes into my next book. I love this book. I did it as a class in 1997. It's Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. This is one of the best books to unleash your creativity that's ever been written, in my opinion. Julia Cameron, first of all, she's a woman that is an artist, and works with artists, works with filmmakers, has personal experience in that world of creativity. And what she says, what our biggest block, the biggest obstacle toward our own expression of our own talents is our own inner critic, that she calls the censor. And think of what great name that is for that inner critic, the censor. That's the one that's, when you have a great idea for yourself, that goes into your logical mind and says why you can't do this. You've never done it before, you're too old to start, you don't have the money, all of those things, that's the censor. And your job is to notice that the censor and say, thank you for your opinion. Thank you for sharing. It's not the truth. It's some basic story, BS, basic story, that that you've been telling yourself for a long, long time, but it's not the truth of you. The truth of you is that you're a magnificent, magnificent creative being, made in the image and likeness of this one mind, this one life. The creator of the universe made you in its image and likeness, made you in its image and likeness. Right now you have all the creativity that you could possibly want in order to live a happy, fulfilled, and complete life. There is nothing left out. You already have it. You're already creative. So Julia Cameron uses two techniques to help quiet the censor and to allow the voice of the inner artist, the inner creator, to come forward. One of them is called morning pages. Morning pages is something you do before your conscious mind, before your censor gets too busy. So you do it first thing in the morning. It takes about 30 minutes. You write 3 loose leaf handwritten pages of whatever is on your mind. It's called a brain drain. And the purpose of it is to allow the creativity to come forward. Most of the morning pages is going to sound like blah, 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 but you don't ever want to read it again, at least for 8 weeks. Do it every day. Don't read it. The point of it is to do it. The point of it is to do it. And when you do, you'll find, after a few weeks, that inner censor no longer has such control over you. That you're willing to take a risk and do it anyway. That you're willing to try that thing that you've been longing for, but being afraid of at the same time. Whatever it is. And the other tool, the morning pages have been easy for me. I saw in 1997 when I signed my agreement here. I did them every day for years because it freed something within me. But her other tool I've never done. And this is the week I'm going to change that. The other tool is called an artist's date. You don't do it with your loved one, your best friend, your wife or husband, or even your child. You do it with yourself. You take yourself someplace you love and spend 2 hours or more just doing what you love. Just doing what you love, what the inner you loves. And so for some of you, that might be looking at some beautiful art. For others, it might be playing in the sand, swinging on a swing, getting down that guitar and strumming it a little, even though you're not great at it yet. Something that you love. Those are the 2 tools. And what she says, and she gives lots and lots of examples of the creativity that happens. She says people will either, for these 2 tools, you'll either love it and say, yeah, I really want to do that, or you'll resist it. And actually resisting it is a good sign, because when you don't want to do it, it means you really have to do it, to allow that something, that spiritual something to come through you. It's the signal when you're in resistance, or you might be neutral. So if you really want to or really don't, she gives an example of 2 examples that I recall. One of a woman who had been a music critic for 20 years. And she did morning pages for 3 weeks. And she started to compose her own music. That's a huge leap. That's a huge leap. And another one she gave of a man who was totally in resistance, but had paid her a lot of money for the class, and so he didn't want to waste his money. So he did it anyway. And his shift in being totally left-brained and totally logical to marrying those 2 brains, embracing the creativity, was remarkable. So this month is all about living creatively. We can live creatively right where we are, right as we are. We don't have to dress differently. We don't have to do anything differently. But if there's something in you longing to express through you, this is the month to do it. This is the month to do it. Take that bold step. Say yes. you likely will be lousy at first. And that's a good thing. You know, you didn't walk the first time you tried to stand up. As a baby, you had to crawl first, and then you learned to walk, and then you learned to run. Be willing to start where you are and take the steps. That's the lessons on creativity for today, and so it is. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, thank you. And now, Reverend Karen and Rick Dale Allendale.
A little Michael McDonald for you. No more running down the wrong road, dancing to a different drum. Can't you see what's going on deep inside your heart? Always searching for the real thing, living like it's far away. Just leave all the madness in yesterday. You're holding the key when you believe it. Shine, sweet freedom, shine your light on me. You are the magic, you're right where I wanna be. Oh, sweet freedom, carry me along. We keep the spirit alive on and on. Ooh. We be dancing in the moonlight, smiling with the rising sun, living like we'd never done, going all the way, reaching out to meet the changes, touching every shining star. The light of tomorrow is right where we are. There's no turning back from what I am feeling. Shine, sweet freedom, shine your light on me. You are the magic that's right where I wanna be. Oh, sweet freedom, carry me along. We keep the spirit alive on and on. Hey, 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 'cause there'll be starlight all night when we're filled with spirit. We'll share those feelings, dancing in our eyes tonight. They're guiding us, shining all through our lives. Ooh. Oh, shine, sweet freedom, shine the light on me. You are the magic, you're right where I wanna be. Oh, sweet freedom, carry me along. We'll keep the spirit alive. Oh, and
Shine, sweet freedom,
shine a light on me. You are the magic, you are the magic, baby.
oh sweet freedom, carry me along.
We'll keep the spirit alive. On and
Shine,
on.
sweet freedom,
shine your light on me. You are the magic, and you're right where we want to be. Oh, sweet freedom, carry me along. We'll keep the spirit alive. On and on. Amazing strength and wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let's acknowledge them again. We're really blessed. Yay. I have to tell you about this little piece of paper in your bulletin. This is a creative test. The idea is to take 5 minutes and make as many things as you can out of those objects. I was going to have you do that while I was talking, and I forgot. So now you can do it now. So there's no right or wrong way to do it, but what can you see in all of those things? So while you're all busy looking at that little sheet of paper, if there's anyone here for the very first time would like to acknowledge you, and we have a gift for you. So if you put your hand up until it arrives, anyone here for the first time? Right over here. Keep your hand up until one of the ushers comes to you. So happy you chose to visit us today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Was there anyone else I missed? Back here. She got it. So happy that you joined us today, and hope you'll stay and have coffee and fellowship with us after service. If you fill out a welcome card that's in that package, the package includes some information about us and a gift. And if you take that card to the bookstore, which is just through the doors and around the corner, you'll receive another gift, a book of your choice. So let's welcome our visitors. Thanks for visiting with us today. And then if the stewards would come forward, it's time for us to share our gifts, our tithes and offerings. I remind the people in Prosperity Plus 1 and 2 that you share your tithes in class, not here. Oh my, look at this. Yeah, right. Let's just if this is the day that we share our gift, take it in your hand and put it on your heart. And just in the silence, in whatever way is right for you, bring gratitude to that gift. And then please say with me, my offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply. favorite one. I love that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What a wonderful rendition. Wow. If the stewards would come forward, we're going to accept these gifts and we'll do it together. So I encourage you to put your hand out either like this or like this so you can feel the energy. Feel the energy and repeat after me. On behalf of my beloved center, I receive these gifts, knowing they bless everything they touch and return to every giver, multiplied, pressed down, and spilling over. And so it is. Thank you. And Michael.
Everyone? And on the flag. Okay, today's flowers, I would like to start off with in memory of our beloved John Lamonte, and they are given by Joan Lamonte and Ann Bond. So thank you very much for the flowers today, and appropriately in the right colors too. If you are interested in providing flowers, please see the sign up in the kiosk for that. Okay. We have a special announcement in that you heard last week, and you've heard it probably throughout the whole week, of Walter Cronkite is dead. Is he dead? Yes, he is dead. But anyway, we're not talking about him in real life. We're talking about the play and the musical that... No singing, because he's dead. Anyway, the play, the play is coming here. So we saw a little bit of it the other day, and now we're going to see the whole play here Friday. And it seems like in a hurry, but that's because the wagon, it is moving. So come here Friday. It starts at 7, and be here. It is a love offering, and you are going to be fully entertained. I guarantee you, or you're offering back to you. Okay. I get to decide on the order. I love it. Okay, Prosperity Plus and Prosperity Plus 2. We're doing class today for the Prosperity 1 series. I am prosperous. Those in class, I am prosperous. Great. And you've been giving your little gifts, and how many of you got your little wristbands on? I got my wristband. Woo! Wonderful. We are going to start at 12:30. I do have some, I just got to say something. That, I don't know what light lunch is, but that's a church talk that we hear a lot of. I have some refreshments provided, so if you're coming to class, don't think that you have to step out and get something to eat. There's everything that you need here, so we'll start at 12:30 in the multipurpose room. Yes? And Tuesday night also. Okay, next slide. We have a Relay for Life team. Centered for Life wants you to join them at San Clemente High School the 26th and 27th. Is Melissa here today? No. Okay. Well, there you go. Come sign up. It's great. We have Reverend Patty on July 9th at 11:30 in the multipurpose room as she offers tools and practices for a joyful life as a parent, child care, and light lunch provided. Wednesdays. This coming Wednesday, very special. I can tell you on first hand that Reverend Judy has such passion and purpose on building these Wednesday nights, and they are phenomenal. And you heard music last week. You've seen great speakers a few weeks ago. A shameless plug. Anyway, this Wednesday night at 7 p.m., Freddie Weber's musical comedy. No, there is music on Wednesday night. Based on her work with Eckhart Tolle and the Power of Now. It is called Being Here Now. So be here then. We do have some suites left at our executive suites upstairs. If you know of anyone who is interested in a professional, beautiful, meditative, wonderful energy, business will prosper, I can tell you that. There is a lot of things in your program. Take this with you on your way home. so many things on the back. I just looked at some of the stuff. It's like, wow, very interesting. I don't have a lot of time to go over everything, but there is just so many things to go over. Anything else that I need to add? Oh, God, yes, of course. Gina is in the back. She's got the DVDs of the July 13th show that she professionally recorded, and it is awesome. So take home that show with you today. See Gina, she's got DVDs, $10. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I think I am finished for now.
I think it's time to bring the children in.